Hello and welcome to part 2 of wandcrafting a wand, which bears some similarity to Luna Lovegood's wand. The design the showmakers went for was having a rose design on the hilt of the wand. I chose to make this design using rasps, file, knives and woodcarver's tools. I could have made this easier using mechanical tools. I even own a Dremel, but as I mentioned doing the bow tie making, I prefer the slow method of hand tools when I want to make delicate shapes, because it is easier to make a mistake with power tools and lose material from which you cannot recover. Furthermore, I also very much enjoy the gentle sound and feeling of using hand tools, the pure meditative feeling of every stroke or cut, the pausing and admiring the progress. As you can see through the hard cuts and very much sped up imaging, I pause a lot and look and turn the wand around. I want to catch the right look and feeling. Not so it's a exact copy of what the showmakers did, but so it shows what is hidden within my mind's eye. I have a very vivid imagination. I can clearly see shapes and things I want to make, but I am limited by my drawing skills. I have considered several times taking up drawing tutorials to facilitate my woodcrafting and other crafting in general. The wood turning part, which you saw in part 1, only took about 35 minutes, but the shaping of the rose, with all the pausing and gentle working with files and rasps, well, that took itself a full hour. So we're closing in on 2 hours on making the project if we also count the drawing, even more if we count the imagining that it took to combine the different ideas my friend had. The price I charge for my craft are set relatively low. They do not cover my working salary, they cover mainly my materials and the cost of buying new, more exotic or more different kinds of woods while I wait for my stock to dry. These days I have a rather large storage of wood, all of it wet sadly. But as I've mentioned in another one, I have apricot wood and now I have blood beech and some other more not exotic woods but more special woods to Denmark. I am drying them in my garden in a small shed I built, which I'll show in a video because it's actually quite nice to have. Considering the price of wood when it's wet comparably to when it's dry, there is actually a large money saving to be done. And your work after you have split and sealed the wood is just to wait. It is almost like having stock in the stock market. You buy it or you get it for free, as the labor of you removing it is the payment for the wood, and you leave it to store. And then you'll leave it to store for several years, and then when it's dry and wetty, you can use it to your heart's content. And sourcing free lumber essentially means, well, yeah, the lumber is free, and whatever you craft from it will automatically have a larger price. Some people sell their dried wood so they can store more wood and have this as a way of earning money and staying self-sufficient. But this requires more storage space than I have in our little house. Inside my workshop, I have more exotic wood that is already dried, kiln dried most of it, or that is dried elsewhere that I have bought from fellow woodturners. These include some yew, which I have made into a small candle that I'll be making another video on as the next video. My little yew man, who looks a little bit something between a man and an alien, is a very fascinating thing because I love yew. But more about this in the next video. I mainly these days sell for friends. Sometimes I get requests of a friend as a gift for another friend. But as a main part, this is a hobby. I do it to entertain myself and to bring joy to other people. The same with the YouTube videos. I make them so that perhaps they can entertain others. And I also like to have videos I can show the people who buy the items that they can see how they were actually made, which I feel add a different layer. Had I wanted to be profitable, I could have doubled the price or tripled the price. I could have used the Dremel to make it. I would probably have used the Dremel to make it. And I would maybe even have bought and set up a copy device for my lathe to make the wand or wands even faster. I have been thinking about buying a copy device mainly to help making small dowels for different other projects and projects for a friend of mine who is a carpenter. I have been invited to show my craft at a garden show next year. This came to be because I went to a guy and took all his spare wood. He had felled a large beech tree, specifically a blood beech, and he said if I came and picked up this lumber, then I would have to attend his show next year in May of 2022 and show the stuff that I've been making. So I am making a lot of different items now, candles and so on, that I'm planning on showing there. I am also planning on making soap and presenting some of this homemade soap that I've made at this garden show. I have a plan of starting a little soap production with my students at the high school where I teach. And this summer will be my first dabble into soap making. I am planning on putting these videos up here as well, since it is part of my other crafts. As the joke goes, it's not just because of the animal, it's the play on words of other workshop. We do other things except just wood. So the soaps and other paraphernalia we'll be making, both in a teaching context and also just in a, well, profit context. If this is something you want to watch as well, then just stay tuned. It'll be sometime in June or July. On YouTube as well, at least a lot of them. If there are repeat things, I won't show them that much. And I'll probably make a video when I'm at the stall with all my crafted items. So, all in all, thank you for watching and have an amazing day.